Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at Season 3 of Dexter. So in this season, Dexter accidentally kills a man in self-defense, and in order to cover up his involvement in this, he begins a friendship and an eventual partnership with the man's brother, Assistant District Attorney Miguel Prado. Meanwhile, a new serial killer is out and about in the form of the Skinner, and it's up to Deborah and the Miami Metro Police to track him down. So, from what I've seen, this is somewhat of a divisive season among fans. Some consider it to be unique and underrated, while others find it to be where the show kind of stumbled a little bit, spinning its wheels and not really knowing where to take the story. As for me, when I first watched Season 3, I actually liked it, but upon reflection, I just think it's okay. For a variety of reasons, obviously. So, let's get into it. So first of all, I really enjoyed the friendship between Dexter and Miguel. It's one of the more interesting character relationships in the show. It might seem a little bit forced at first for some people, but the deeper you go into the season, the more you'll understand it. And I think your enjoyment of the season as a whole will depend largely on this particular friendship. Deborah, who is working on the Skinner case, is hoping to gain a promotion upon catching the Skinner and finally earning her police badge. Rita discovers that she's pregnant, and in some ways, she's kind of pressuring Dexter into marriage. This is when she still came off as kind of annoying to most fans, but honestly, I think it was the right way to go. As for Harry Morgan, gone are the flashbacks fleshing out his relationship with Dexter. Instead, Harry now acts as Dexter's subconscious in a way, giving him advice every now and then. This was a very unique and refreshing change of pace for the character, and it just makes their relationship all the more believable, despite the fact that Harry's dead. There's a couple of interesting new characters as well. First of all, there's of course Miguel Prado. Miguel Prado is played by Jimmy Smits, who you'll remember as Senator Bail Organa from Star Wars. He and Michael C. Hall had fantastic chemistry in this season, and you really buy these two characters as friends. I mean, Miguel's the kind of guy you'd want to go out and play golf with, which is, surprise surprise, what they actually do. The season also introduces Joey Quinn, a major side character in later seasons. There's not much to him in this season other than the fact that he was transferred to the homicide department and that he's Deborah's new partner. But he actually grew on me as a character as the series progressed, and looking back on this season, this was the perfect starting point for him. There's also Anton Briggs, who's played by David Ramsey. You may remember David Ramsey from Mr. Bones, where he played the golfer Vince Lee. Anton is a musician and a confidential informant who works for Quinn. And there's Ann Wolfe, a defense attorney who Miguel detests, and there's some interesting conflict between the two of them. But unfortunately, this is all I liked about Season 3, as I have quite a few issues with it. Now, my biggest gripe with Season 3 is the fact that it feels like an extremely inconsequential standalone season. Most of what happens has very little impact on the rest of the show, with the exception of Dexter's relationship with Rita and one aspect involving Deborah. Everything else just comes off as filler. The season also lacks the tension of Seasons 1 and 2, because it isn't until the last 4 episodes that the season actually feels like it's building up tension, and as a result, the first 8 episodes are kind of drawn out and boring. Because the season reverts back to the formula of Season 1, it ends up being very formulaic and predictable. There's another attempt at humanizing Dexter, where he realizes he's not all that much of a sociopath. There's another serial killer on the loose, and Deborah enters another romance as usual. This would pretty much end up being the formula for the rest of the show, and while some seasons managed to make it interesting, other seasons played it as safe as possible. And of course, the Skinner is possibly one of the weakest villains in the history of the show. I mean, he has a cool MO, and the build-up leading to the reveal of his identity was well handled. And there are some aspects of the character that I like, but he lacks any sense of nuance or depth. He's just nowhere near as interesting as the ice truck killer from season 1. And even the finale was kind of underwhelming. It didn't have as much tension as the finales that preceded it. The Skinner wasn't enough to carry the episode because, like I said, he's not that interesting. And I think the absence of a specific character hurt the episode a little bit. I'm not going to say who it is, but if you've seen it, you know who I'm talking about. So yeah, those are my thoughts on season 3 of Dexter. It's not a terrible season, it's just that it's nothing special, to be honest. If this was your first time watching the show, I think you'll really enjoy it. And if you're one of those people who defend it, that's great. I wish I could feel the same way about it, but I just don't, especially upon reflection. So next time we're going to look at season 4, the season of the Trinity Killer. That's going to be exciting to talk about. So thank you all for watching. Please be sure to like the video, share it and subscribe. Hit the notification icon. Be safe during this time, and I'll see you soon.